Fantastic and splendid afternoon to all my diligent and intelligent students. I know you all are dripping with curiosity and bursting with endeavor. Actually, I'm come back here today to making you aware of the rules of pronouncing silent letters. Thank you once again. I'm your Torchbearer and Bonzer Pedagogue. Today I'm coming with the silent letter that is absolutely and hugely important. There are some rules. What kind of word? Because in their life, in our English speaking course, that is hugely important to understand exactly what is silent letter. When we are speaking English, there are some words when we speak, but there is some letter that is absolutely silent. That we must understand. Is there any rule? Is there any regulation? Is there any kinds of tips, tools and techniques to exactly which letter is absolutely silent while we're speaking English? Because people understand that English speaking is quite easy, but it is not like that. We have to understand exactly. There are so many words in that one alphabet, one letter is silent. Is there any rule to understand about that kind of words, that kind of letters? So hopefully now, come on, buckle down. Today I am getting you and making you to understand and teach you and giving a kind of heuristic approach to all my diligent and super brilliant students. Thank you and salute you once again. So now we are going to start about what exactly is silent letter. Silent letters are the letters in words that are not pronounced but make a huge difference to the meaning and sometimes the pronunciation of the whole world. Exactly, I told you that there would be some kind of word in common and really so common with people, an Indian culture, an Indian student, an Indian teacher and pedagogue and the lecturer. They are mispronounced because they don't know the exact what are the rules, what are the tips, what are the tools and techniques exactly, so that most of these silent letters were pronounced for centuries, then they became silent, but the spelling was already fixed. With this spelling, how they show the history of the world. The good news is there are some rules. That's what I'm telling you that today, that I am coming with some kind of rules, some kinds of tips, some kind of tools and some techniques to understand. Is there any tool? Is there any techniques? Is there any kind of rules? So we have to follow some kind of rules and we have to interpret and evaluate and elaborate ourselves to understand what exactly which letter is silent. So the good news is that there is some rules about the letters are silent before or after certain letters. But like all English spelling rules, there are exceptions to the rule. But despite there are some rules, there are some regulation, but there is an exception. We have to understand both cases. Is there any rule? Is there any particular rule? Is there any particular rule that we understand? It is the absolute, clear, vivid and absolute transparent some rules, but there is some exception. We have to go to particular to understand exactly. So we are going to start about the first portion about the silent B. What is the rules of silent B? The letter B is usually not pronounced after M at the end of a word. There's some example is already very clear, very vivid and apparent is that if any word is having the last combination, having the combination of M and B, then we have to make silent. We have to mute the word, mute the alphabet, mute the letter B silent. So we can pronounce like this: come, bomb, thumb, climb, tomb, crumb and lamb. So here B is silent. Okay, the rule 2. B is usually not pronounced before the letter T. What exactly is that? B is usually not pronounced before the letter T means you can see here. Is there the combination of B and T? That means there is a word T and before there is alphabet letter is B. So that B will be absolutely muted, absolutely silent. So like the correct pronunciation will be dot, dotful, subtle, and date. So these are the rules for silent B. Now we're going to move about the silent C. See, the letter C is usually not pronounced in the combination of SC. It is telling that is there any combination of SC? In that case, we are not going to pronounce C. So they can see some sort of example here. Scissors, accent, no, see the word accent, fascinate, muscle. So in this all example, it is a very clear and very absolutely vivid. We are not going to pronounce the C word. So here, scissors, that means C is silent, accent, C is silent, fascinate, C is silent, muscle, C is silent. Now rule 2 for C. C is usually mute or silent before the letters K and Q. See, you can understand, is there the combination of CK? That means that there is a word K before there is a C, or maybe there is a word like Q and before C, we have to mute the word, we have to mute the letter C silent. So to see the example very clear, lock, block, puck, acknowledge. Now you can see some sort of example which is concerning to like Q, aqua, acute, and aqueous. These are the some rules to understand exactly which word is silent and what are the combination of that word. So now we're going to move about the silent D approach here. The letter D is silent when it appears before the letter N and G. What exactly the rule is telling? That the letter D is silent when it appears before the letter N and G. So when you're finding the letter before N or before G, that would be here, D would be absolute silent. See the word here, some sort of example, clear and vivid here. That is the example here, Wednesday. This is the Wednesday, not Wednesday. Wednesday, catch, pledge, grudge. This is the example. Now we're going to move rule 2 of the silent letter of the for D. D is not pronounced in the following common words. As you see, I told you the example, above example, it's so absolutely vivid, clear, and apparent, and so obvious to my diligent and troubled student here. See, the example is like Wednesday, and handsome, handkerchief, sandwich. So here some example is telling that D is silent. We have to mute the letter D. We have to silent the letter D. So you cannot say like Wednesday, you cannot say handsome, you cannot say handkerchief, you cannot say sandwich, but correct pronunciation will come. The certain rule is that Wednesday, handsome, handkerchief, and sandwich. So now just move for the silent E. If the letter E comes at the ends of words, it is generally not pronounced. Again, I am repeating the sentence. If the letter E comes at the ends of the words, it is generally not pronounced. See example here: for, table, before, right, give, height. Clear? Now we have some certain rules of the E for rule 2. If E occurs before the letter D in the second and the third forms of the verbs, E may sometimes not be pronounced. Again, I am repeating the sentence. If E occurs before the letter D in the second and the third forms of the verbs, E may sometimes not be pronounced. See, you can see very clearly. Is that what E occurs before the D? Before the D, we are not going to pronounce. We are not going to. We have to mute the word, that letter E here. So here, see the example: bored, fixed, smuggled, baked. These are the some examples, some sort of takes, some sort of ideas, and to understand better exactly what are the rules and how to implement, how to evaluate. That is the big question to you. Now we're going to move about the silent G. The G letter is not pronounced when it comes before N in a word. See, the G letter is not pronounced when it comes before N in a word. See, there is a combination of G, N, exactly. The G is, previous, and the N is the last word. See, the combination of G and N, but in that G and N we cannot pronounce G. We have to make silent, we have to make mute that letter G here. See, there's some example. Design, foreign, sign, nash, align. There are some exceptions of this rule. You must understand, we have to think logically, because I told you the starting of the class, the starting of the video, I told you there are some rules, tips, some tools and some techniques, but there is some exception. That exactly we have to understand. See, the combination of G and is also here, but here we have to pronounce the G clearly and obviously. Say magnet, igneous, cognitive, signature. So here the combination of G is there, but we have to pronounce. Okay. Now we are going to move about the silent GH. You can see here the silent GH. GH is not pronounced when it comes after a vowel in a word. GH is not pronounced when it comes after a vowel in a word. So see, you can see some example. There is a GH and before GH there is a vowel. Because of vowel, we are not going to pronounce GH together. We have to make silent and mute GH later absolutely perfectly. See the example here. High, that means GH is silent. Light, GH is silent. Thought, GH is silent. That's people are saying that thought. Thought is not a word. Thought is a sort. GH is silent. Throw, and alight. And now we can see the rules too. Exceptions. GH is not pronounced separately in compound words. As you can see in the following words, that exceptions are generally compound words. There, what do you make compound words? Actually, when two words make another word, and that is called compound words. See, here GH is there, and before that there is a vowel. GH is there, but before there is a vowel. But these are the exception because the reason behind this, because the reason is clear that there is a compound word. We have to think logically to understand exactly what is really compound words. Then the rule is not implemented for that case. See here, we have to pronounce each and every word very carefully because of the common word, because of the compound words. Doghouse, big head, foghorn. Now the rules 3. Except example from rule 1, GH is sometimes pronounced like F. Consider the words below. GH sometimes the word and will comes, and there is a sometimes GH is making a kind of sense, and sometimes the GH will make the pronunciation and the voice and the sound is like F. See here, D-R-A-U-G-S-T. So people usually say drought. Drought is not a suitable word. Actually, D-R-O-U-G-S-T, that is perfect word. You can say drought, but if A-U-G-S-T, that pronunciation will comes F. So correct pronunciation is draft, cough, laugh, and tough. Again, I am repeating the word draft, cough, laugh, and tough. Thank you. Now we are going to move about the silent H. The letter H is usually silent when it appears after W. I told you because we are so typical Indian student, and we are fighting because we have the character of listening the word from the people, and we simply adopt that because we have to adopt, but we have to understand some rules are there. So it is not like this. I found you some Indian people, they're saying why, what, when, whether, where. That is absolutely wrong. Rule is telling that if there is WH is there, but we have to make the silent here H. So the correct pronunciation will be why, what, when, whether, and where. Again, why, what, when, whether, and where. So now this the rule 2 for silent H. Sometimes the letter H is not silent after W. Consider the words below. Sometimes this is some sort of rules. You have to understand both pros and cons of the rules. There is a pros and cons of the rule. You have to understand it. It's not implemented blindly, but there is some rules of exception. Some rule are saying that. Some example is saying that. See the example here. Whose, whosoever, who, whoever, and whole. In this case, we are keeping the H word clearly. So now we are going to move again silent H, rule 3. He's mute at the beginning of many words. Remember to use the article and with the unvoiced H. H is mute at the beginning of many words. Remember the use of the article and with unvoiced H. Because of the H silent and we use an article, the N, and you see here, this is our, honest, honor, ear. We know very well because we are a mature and a sincere student, a diligent student. Exactly we say our. No, we cannot say our, we cannot say honest, we cannot say honor, we cannot say here. So the correct pronunciation is our, honest, honor, and ear. What do you mean by ear? Ear means ownership. And ear means something like ownership. Something, this property belongs to that person, that is called ear, not here. Okay, now rules for exception. Most of the words beginning with H are not silent. Remember the use of article A with the voiced H. Here, that is saying that word here. History, historical, here, happy. History, historical, here, happy. There are some exceptions. It is not always possible that if they are going the same rules to implement the all word, but there is some exception that rules of the letter where to silent and where to not to silent. We have to understand logically and smartly and so keenly. Okay, now we are going to move about the silent K. The letter K is always silent when it precedes the letter N in a word. The letter K is always silent when it precedes the letter N in a word. That means if there is a combination of K N, then the K will be muted, the K will be silent. Absolutely, that is the condition. That will be, the K will be mute and K is absolutely silent here. The correct word pronunciation is like no, knock, knife, night, and knowledge. No, knock, knife, night, and knowledge. These are the silent K. Now we're going to move the rules of the silent L. The letter L is not pronounced after the vowels A, O, and U. The letter L is usually not pronounced after the vowels A, O, and U. See, here are some common example. You better understand. You better get the obvious solution and so clear and apparent and vivid approach to understanding what are the rules are telling that the silent L when it comes with the A, O, and U. See the CALF. Not we cannot say calf. We say cough, half, palm, would, should, could, fork, and york. Again, I'm repeating the word cough, half, palm, would, should, could, fork, and york. That means in this all example, L is absolutely mute. L is absolutely silent. So clear? Now we're going to move about the silent N. The letter N is not pronounced when it comes after M at the end of a word. The letter N is not pronounced when it comes after M at the end of a word. So that means N is not going to pronounce. N should be mute. N should be silent. When there is a last word, the combination of last word like MN and N would be the last one. So N letter will be silent. So they see the example: column, dam, solemn, autumn. Autumn, column, dam, solemn, and autumn. That means in these all words, N letter is silent. Now we're going to move the word silent P. The letter P is not pronounced at the beginning of many words using combinations like PS, PT, and PN. The letter P is not pronounced at the beginning of many words using combination PS, PT, and PN. See the example, very clear. There is a combination of PS, PT, and PN. In that case, we are not going to use, we are not going to pronounce, we are not going to use that letter P, make it silent, make it mute. So here the example is psalm, cephalogy, cephalogy, pterodactyl, pterodactyl, pneumonia, pneumatic. So see here, combination of PS, combination of PS, combination of PT, combination of PN, combination of PN. Here in the all cases, P is silent, and you better understand your some sort of example. There's absolutely good rules. Now we're going to move about the silent PH. PH is sometimes pronounced like F. PH letter is sometimes pronounced like F. See the example here, Sophia, paragraph, elephant, elephant, telephone. So here Sophia, PH, convert F, paragraph or paragraph or paragraph. What happened? PH converted to F, elephant, 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 and telephone, telephone. So PH is converted into F pronunciation. Now silent S. The letter S is not pronounced before L in the following words. The letter S is not pronounced before L in the following words. See here, this is not Iceland, this is not Iceland or Island, this is not Iceland, this is not Islet or Islet. Correct pronunciation is like Isle, Island, Isle, and Islet. Isle, Island, Isle, and Islet. Now we're going to move about the silent T. The letter T is not pronounced in the following common English word. See, we're talking about the letters T, the silent word exactly where is the word and which we have not pronounced the letter T. There is some example: castle, Christmas, fasten, listen, often, beret, bay, Chevrolet, whistle, thistle, bustle, hasten, soften, rapport, 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 gourmet, and belly. So belly, so belly. So these are the some word, some common and some maybe uncommon words where there is a silent of T. So hopefully you'll go to that and you'll better understand. Now we're going to move about the silent U. The letter U is not pronounced when it comes after G and before a vowel in a word. The letter U is not pronounced when it comes after G and before a vowel in a word. So see, U is not pronounced when it comes after G and before a vowel. See here, GUI, GUE, GUA, GUE, GUA. These are the certain combination. Before U there is a G and after U there is a I. Clear? So now you can see, understand very carefully, because it will be when it comes after G. When it comes after G, that means U is coming when? Coming after G and before I. So we cannot use, we have to silent, we have to mute this, the letter U. Guide, guest, guard, gaze, and gano. Gano, gano. Not a guano is not. Gano, gano. U is silent. So silent W. The letter W is not pronounced at the beginning of a word when it is before the letter R. The letter W is not pronounced at the beginning of a word when it is before letter R. See the example, it's a very common, very simple, very common example here. And I know that without knowing that rules, a student and are not using, not getting such kind of mistake here. See here, right, raised, wrong, rack, and rap. Clear? Because some of the rules, your metacognitive approach will make you understand. We don't have to pronounce, but there are some mistakes. We have to make the comprehensive approach to understand. We have to make the metacognitive approach about the student, about my true blue and diligent student here. Now, rule number 2. W is silent in the following words. As you have already go through this kind of example like who, whose, whole, whom, whose, whoever, answer, sword, to. Here, these are the example here. What exactly is silent? Silent is W. W is silent here. Who, whose, whole, whom, whose, whoever, answer, sword, and two. And now come with this some sort of comprehensive and very good and detail. I have collected and gathered and heard all sort of the silent letter to understand by different alphabetically to be better understand to my intelligent and my intelligent students. See here, silent B. You can see clearly here the last B is the combination of MB and the B, the all word, the all letter is if the letter is in red in color, that all red in color is silented word. So we are going to pronounce one by one very clearly and more comfortably to basically my true blue and my diligent student, my brilliant student can understand. So we are going to start now. Bomb, climb, comb, crumb, date, dot, dome, lamb, limb, numb, plumber, subtle, thumb, succumb. Actually, very commonly in use in our daily life. If you have any problem in your pipe, in your kind of apple, then you say, "Call me the plumber." Plumber is not suitable. Here, these silence of plumber. Now we're going to see the silent T. Butcher, castle, Christmas, fasten, hustle, listen, match, mortgage, Nestle, often, rustle, reach, soften, and watch. See the silent H. Ghost, ghost, not ghost, ghost, honest, hour, mechanic, rhythm, scheme, school, what, when, where, whether, why, white, and why. Now see the silent K. Knee, new, knickers, knife, night, neat, knitting, knob, knock, notch, no, knowledge, knuckle, knack. So I am telling to my student, you have to go through each and every word. If you don't know any meaning, you just refer your dictionary, Brownell dictionary, and you can better understand. Better you can contact me, approach me. I will tell you the each and every meaning. Because if you don't understand any kind of word meaning, then you better contact me. Okay. Silent W. Answer, sword, two, hole, rack, wrap, wrist, wrinkle, rake, rain, range, wrestle, writing, and regal. So we have go through that silent B, silent T, silent H, and silent K, and silent W. Now we are going to move about the silent G here. Sign, campaign, champagne, clone, gnome, design, resign, foreigner, align, assign. So these are some very common or usual and very fantastic example of silent G. Now you can see the letter silent U. God, biscuit, vogue, building, rogue, tongue, guilty, guitar, gaze, and gauge. These are the silent U letter. We are going to move the silent C. Conscience, conscience, conscious, conscious, crescent, descent, descent, disciple, awareness, fascinate, fascinate, awareness, fascinate, fluorescent, muscle. So here this C letter is silent. Now so we are going to move the silent L. Almond, not almond. Almond is not suitable. Almond, talk, cough, calm, chalk, walk, fork, half, palm, summon. Now we can see about the silent P. Silent P letter. Example, coup, not coop. Coop is not suitable. Coup, cupboard, pneumonia, pseudo, psychiatrist, psychic, psychology, psychotherapy, psychotic, and raspberry. Now we are going to move about the silent E letter. Age, breathe, breach, change, clothes, gene, and hate. Again, age, breathe, breach, change, clothes, gene, and hate. See the silent D here. Badge, age, handsome, age, sandwich, wage, Wednesday. Now come to the silent A letter. Artistically, artistically, no, artistically not, artistically, logically, musically, physically, and critically. So there are the very common mistakes to student and to common people. They are saying that artistically, logically, musically, and physically and critically. No, artistically, logically, musically, physically, and critically. Now we can see about the silent N letter, autumn, column, dam, and hymn. Now we can see the last silent letter S, isle, island. So these are my comprehensive and my exhaustive explanation about this silent letter, the rules of pronouncing silent letters. So hopefully this video is making a great sense, and it is a truly fruitful and salubrious to all my beloved and my true student. Get you saying, thanks for watching. Carry yourself self-pride and dignity. Be bootstrapper. Thumbs up and salute you everybody. Bye bye. Take care. Thank you.